As you get closer to retirement age, you look at your CPP, your Canadian Pension Plan, and if you've almost maxed or maybe even maxed that amount heading up to that age, is it best to delay your CPP, and especially if you have a spouse or common law partner? What happens if you're both close to max or maximum amount? The concern is if one of us pass away, we've lost out on money. And that's absolutely not the case. I'm going to cover that today in this video. We're going to take a look at Dave and Ruth YouTube, who are a 60-year-old couple. They've maxed out on their CPP payments heading up to 60, looking to take it at 65, but because they're maxed, they're not sure if they should take it at 60. They don't like the idea to delay it because they've maxed. If one of them dies, they've lost out on all that money. So they've come to us to ask, like, when is the best time to take CPP, work all our retirement planning together? And the answer that they got was not what they expected. And this is the number one question I've received over the last few months is maximum CPP. And this is for a single as well. So if you're a single person watching this video and you've maxed out your CPP or very close to, you might be thinking like, I don't want to lose it. And even if you haven't maxed out, a lot of single people take it earlier because they want to get as much as they can. The reality is that typically it still makes sense to delay it. But let's look at a couple that's maxed out on CPP and the differences of taking their CPP at 60, 65, and 70. And the difference is it's quite drastic. So here we have Dave, a YouTube, who has a bit of an RSP 300,000, TFSA worth 95, and they have a joint cash account worth 30,000. If we go over to Ruth, again, she's got some assets there as well, 400,000, 90 in her TFSA, 30,000 joint on that cash account. Now, what I want to focus on in this video is the government benefits. So you can see here at 65, they're going to receive, Ruth is going to receive 100% of the maximum benefit. Dave is in the same category. So a few of you have asked me to break down these numbers, not in the software because it's too confusing for you. So I'm going to break it down just plain simple language, but then we're going to loop back to the software to actually look at like the CPP survivor benefit and the differences at different ages. So here's the raw data behind the option. So age 60, if Dave and Ruth retire at age 60 and take their CPP at age 60, if they were both to live all the way to age 90, they would receive $69,343 after tax and adjusted to inflation. Nice income. Now, if one of them passed away at age 72, and I'm going to use age 72 for all the examples here, so it's apples to apples. So let's say Dave and Ruth both took their CPP at 60, they collected for 12 years, and one of them passed away. So in this case, we said Ruth passed away at 72, but Dave continued to live all the way until age 90. The amount they would receive is $59,064. Now let's jump to age 65. So if they took CPP at 65, so retired at 60, lived off some savings and whatnot, took CPP at 65, they would have $74,502. So a lot more money all the way to age 90. But if one of them passed away, that number would drop to $61,723. So still much more income, about $2,700 more, taking it at 65 versus 60 with the survivor benefit. But of course, we don't know when we're going to die, right? I know we all think, well, Adam, we could die early and then we've lost out on this. Look, your life expectancy, if you're 60, 65, is late 80s. That's your life expectancy. And you can say, yeah, but everyone in my family hasn't lived that long. Look, my grandpa just passed away at 89. Nobody in his family lived to anywhere near that age. So it is possible. It could be you. So you need to plan for if you do live longer. I think the risk, a lot of you think the risk is not collecting and like dying early and not getting your CPP. To me, the risk is living longer and not having as much as possible. Put you in a nice care facility, take care of you later in life as well, but as well as earlier years in retirement. So I would focus more on like, what happens if I live longer? Like if you're dead, you're dead. I mean, if you have a spouse or common law partner, make sure they're taken care of, run those scenarios with your planner. But really, especially if you're single, I mean, if you're dead, you're dead. You want to leave as much as you can in a tax efficient manner and all of that. But your main concern should be, what happens if I live till 90, 95, 100? Like, that could happen statistically. Now, if Dave and Ruth delayed all the way to age 70, we'd see an income of $77,463 per month after tax. But if Ruth passed away at 72, it would drop to $61,632, which is about a $100 difference, not even $100 different than age 65. So when I looked at these numbers, and again, I just grabbed some numbers, put it into our software and kind of ran it, you can see that if Ruth died at age 72, the difference between 65 and 70 is almost the exact same. Like whether they took it at one age or the other, almost identical. So that's a wash. But if they live till age 90 or beyond, their income is $77,000 versus $74,000. So $3,000 after tax and adjusted to inflation in their pocket for 30 years, from 60 to 90. That's a lot of extra income. So if you say, look, if things happen statistically the way they should, which is a couple in their early 60s has a good chance that one of them lives into age 90. So this is a good chance this might happen. I want $77,000, not $74,000. Thank you very much. I've worked hard for this money, and you have too. You've worked hard to save for retirement. So yes, there needs to be a bit of emotional decision making in there, but there has to be more financial decision making. You have to know the path forward. Your scenario might be completely different. It might show, no, you need to take it at 65. You need to take it at 60, maybe somewhere in between there. I don't know what your scenario is, but I would say the one we're looking at here is very common that comes through our office, and it's going to be fairly consistent even if you both maxed out your CPP heading up to retirement. So be very aware of how this works, how it runs out at deaths at different age, different scenarios. And again, I always say, whatever keeps you up at night, whatever those thoughts and concerns in the back of your head are, share those with your financial planner, because it's their job to map it out with you. Work through those scenarios with them. Make sure you can sleep at night, right? Your financial planner will have software, just like we have, might be different brand, but it's software that they can run these scenarios and look at different options. And again, make sure they're running options, CPP at different ages, OAS, how do you draw down, create more tax efficiency? I see way too often people contact us and say, can you look at our plan? We don't, we just create plans from scratch. But way too often I see a planner is taking your data, throwing it into software, hit generate, and give it to you. And if that's all they've done, you're missing out. You need to start having them kind of dig in, spend some time in their software to figure out where kind of the best puzzle pieces should be moved to. Because typically, the default plan within any financial planning software will get you about 80% of the way, but it's that last 20% that's going to save you a lot of taxes, put more money back in your pocket, and really give you the value that you're paying your financial planner for. I want to quickly run through all three scenarios and what the survivor benefit would be, the CPP survivor benefit would be in each scenario. So the one we're looking at here is age 60. So you can see at age 60, they've taken CPP, collected. Again, this is showing Dave. So at age 73, so Ruth passed at 72. At 73, he starts collecting survivor benefit. And you can see he's collecting $14,447. He'll get a survivor benefit of $298. So that's the total income they're going to receive. So again, here at age 60, survivor benefit is very small, $298. So here's the same scenario, but taking CPP at age 65, you can see payment at 65, $18,024. And the CPP survivor benefit is actually more. It's $1,128. And Dave is also collecting $23,956. So not only a larger survivor benefit pension, but their total CPP collected is much, much more. And last but not least, CPP at age 70, you can see Dave will start collecting $30,691 at age 70. Now, a few years later, when Ruth passes away, you can see the survivor benefit is actually more than if they'd taken CPP at 65. And this is where a lot of you get hung up on. Again, you need to work with your planner, run it in software, look at the true data and how these calculations work. $1,989, he's collecting $36,000. If you look at the OAS, he has a very nice income coming in just from government benefits. So for all of you that are getting close to max CPP, looking to retire, concerned that we should take our CPP earlier because survivor benefit, hopefully this video and the data behind it, the supporting data behind it, will really help you make a better decision going forward into retirement. Again, if you need help with this, if you want something like this for your numbers, for your financial plan, reach out to our office, parallelwealth.com/planning. You can learn all about our fee-for-service financial plans that we offer. A lot of you have retirement plans that aren't full. They're 80% of the way there. You need to get to that 100%. And if your financial planner is not doing it, reach out to our office. We have a team of advisors. We'd be happy to work with you and go through this process with you. Make sure that you're taking CPP at the right time, OAS, drawing down your RSPs, looking at your pensions and any other assets that you have, rental properties, corporations. All of that we can build into the plan and optimize it. Again, when you hit retirement, there's a lot of tax planning to be done, and most of you are missing out on it.